Okay, guys, so we're starting with our 10 color. That will be the first color. We're placing the yarn in front of us like that. This is tail and this is working yarn. So place working yarn on the top, make a loop like that, and then you will insert your hand inside this loop and you will grab working yarn and pull it out. So this is our first stitch, and you're pulling the strings down and you're pulling stitch up. So now you can make a stitch a little bit smaller or bigger if you need it bigger, and you need to pull working yarn down or up to make it bigger or smaller, like that. We'll keep it about an inch, a little bit over an inch. It's a good size to start. So now I will be making a chain of 15 stitches, guys, okay? So this is the first stitch. I will hold it with my left hand. If you're left-handed, you will do it the opposite side. You will hold it in your right hand and you will be working this direction. And I'm right-handed, so I am showing it this way. You hold the stitch, you insert your fingers, grab working yarn and pull it out. So you now have two stitches. You see I made them the same size. So now you will be, I will suggest, I recommend to try to make them the same size. So now press the bottom of the second stitch and then insert your fingers, grab working yarn and pull it out. I'm pressing the button because this way the stitch will not be unraveling when you're making the next stitch, and this way all the stitches will stay of the same size. Again, I'm making a small baby blanket with 15 stitches, and the reason I'm making it so small because it's easier to show the pattern in the video, not to make it too long. So let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 1 2 3 4 and one more. I think it's 15. Let's try again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, we have 15 stitches, guys. Okay, we are now turning this chain on another side, flipping it, and we will be using the stitches in the middle of this chain. So this is our first stitch. Insert your finger from underneath uh, inside the stitch, grab working yarn and pull it out. This is our first stitch. Now we will be using stitches in the middle, guys, okay? So not the top, not the bottom. We will be using this top uh, middle part of the stitch. It's kind of like on the top a little bit, see? So what are you doing? You are lifting this middle part of the stitch, you're grabbing working yarn and pulling it out. So we now have two stitches, and we will keep pulling out the first row. I usually start the pattern from the second row because it's easier, and you can see what you're doing with all the stitches, because if you start it over here, it will be pretty hard because you need to see all the stitches clearly like over here. So we're pulling out our first row, and then we will start our twisted stitch pattern, or it's also called herringbone stitch, okay, herringbone. So here our first row pulled out, and you can see that all stitches are of the same size. This is our main goal, and we will now start our pattern, which is twisted stitch. For twisted stitch, you're just taking your stitch, you are twisting it in the direction where you are knitting. We're knitting from the left to the right, so you're twisting it into this direction. And then you're grabbing working yarn and pulling it through the stitch. Then you're taking second stitch, twisting it, and you are taking the yarn and pulling it out. That is all, guys. It's very simple stitch, but it looks really beautiful. So you're inserting your finger and then you're twisting it, grabbing working yarn and pulling it out. See how it looks? It looks like a little crisscross because we twisted the stitch. And you see, you can do it with your pointing finger, but then you will need help of your big finger to pull it out. So it's like twisting and then pulling out, and you can do it with your third finger, or whichever is more convenient. Every hand knitter has it in a different way. So this is our second row, guys. It's all twisted stitches, and last is twisted too. Here we are. Now we will be making our next row, working yarn on the back. So the same way, guys, take your stitch and twist it in the direction where you're knitting. Now we're knitting from the right to the left, so we're twisting in the same direction. Twist, grab working yarn, pull it out. Take the stitch, twist, grab working yarn, pull it out. Try to make again all stitches of the same size. Here we are. So what we will be doing next? I will be knitting the whole skein, and this is for the small blanket. If you are knitting a blanket 40 by 60, you will need to knit 2 skeins of 10 color. And then when you're done with 10 color of 2 skeins, I actually leave a little bit of it. You will need to leave 1, 2, 3, 4 lengths, okay? Because we will be adding white, and then there will be some 10 in the middle. So let me knit until I have the lengths I need left, and then I will come back and show you what to do next. Okay, guys, so I am done with my 10 color. Look how beautiful it looks. And now I will be adding white color. So what I will do, I will place the white yarn over here, and then I will start using it, and I will take care of the ends later. So because we're knitting in this direction, I'm twisting yarn in this direction, and I'm taking the white yarn instead of the 10. 10 is sitting here, I didn't cut it, and I will show you why. So then you're twisting every stitch, and you are adding white, which will represent the foam on the wave, and we will make 2 rows. So this is our row number 1, and we are using only twisted stitch pattern for this blanket. And then when you are here, you are starting the next row, it will also be white, and we are twisting now in this direction because every row is stitch twisted in a different direction. That's the pattern. And the reason I am not cutting the yarn, because I will be trying to make this pattern with as few cuts as possible, and it's easy to do if you follow my directions. So here we are. We have 2 rows of white. And what we will do now, we will simply keep this white here, and we will start using the 10 over here. See? You don't need to cut anything. Just use now 10 color. And here it's kind of like your imagination if you want to use 1 or 2 rows, but in any case do not cut anything, okay? Because we will be using the way that doesn't require any cutting. So here we are. We finished our row of 10. What we're doing now, we are just taking this white and we are knitting from over here again. See, it will all be here, no cutting, no connecting. It's kind of, in this case, yarn is just, white is just following our 10 color. And this way we will have this beautiful wave looking combination of colors. Okay, so here we are, and now we can Here we are. Now, what you want to do? Now, both yarns are here. You can add one more row of tan or white, or you can actually change to the turquoise color, guys, okay? So here is our turquoise. Let me find the end of it. Okay, here we are. So we are now trying our turquoise. We're incorporating turquoise, okay? The same over here, no cutting, twisted stitch, the same pattern, twisted stitch. Now turquoise is our representing our water, okay? Here we are. And after one row of turquoise color, we will actually use white again, okay? Because that again, it will give us this beautiful wave effect. So here we are. It's sitting here, so no cutting, no connecting. Just add another row of white. And at this point, I think we will add 2 rows of white because there is one over here and 2 here. So it will actually look kind of beautiful if we make 2. And for making 2, again, no cutting, no connecting. You're just knitting this white for 2 rows. Here we finish in 1 row, and then you are turning and going this direction with your white, okay? 1 and 2. So here we are. And then when we're done with our white color, we will be moving to our turquoise again. And the turquoise is sitting here, but that's where we will be knitting from. And that will save us a lot of cutting and connecting. Here we are. So let's go to our turquoise, guys, here. And again, twisting in the direction you are knitting. Keep knitting. So at this point, we will be knitting 2 rows of turquoise, and then I will knit 1 row of white because we still have white sitting here, okay? So, and again, see, you don't need to connect anything, you don't need to cut anything, guys, don't cut. You just change it between colors. So like all turquoise will go here, and then you will make 1 more row of white. And after that, we will knit the whole skein of, or actually not skein, what left from the skein of the turquoise, okay? And then we will move to the aquamarine. I'll come back and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, guys, so we are almost done with our turquoise, and you can keep knitting. It's up to you how long you would like the that part to be, but I want to show you how to attach the next color. It will be aquamarine. It's a little bit darker than turquoise, and we will introduce it over here where we just finished our turquoise. So again, the same way, you just start in knit twisted stitch of the turquoise, and first we will do just 1 row, kind of just introduce it gradually, and after we knit the aquamarine color, which is really beautiful deep color, like a deep sea. And after that, we will return back to turquoise again, no cutting. See, it's just sitting here. And then you're just simply knitting next row with the turquoise. After that, we will need uh, uh, one more row of aquamarine, then one more row of turquoise, and then we will move completely to aquamarine because it will be like a connection between two colors. And see, we don't cut anything, guys. We are just using one yarn at a time. Now we are using the aquamarine again, and we're keeping our turquoise over here. And after that, as I said, I will make one more turquoise color. See, it shows this connection. So I will just follow over here with the turquoise color, and then the turquoise will end up here where there will be our aquamarine color end. And that's where it will be sitting, and it will be easier for you to finish it up. So then when all colors are, see, I'm just going with the turquoise, and turquoise will end up where the aquamarine sits. And then I will keep using only aquamarine for the rest of the blanket. And that will give us that beautiful deep color on this side of the blanket. And I'm here, so let me show you how to finish all these ends, okay? So here we are. So now we will be needing only turquoise and aquamarine. Turquoise, we are done. So what we're doing, we are cutting turquoise and we are knitting it together with the aquamarine like that. One knot and then another knot. And then you just pull it together tight, and then you're cutting turquoise. Don't cut the aquamarine close to the knot, and that's all. And then you just keep using your aquamarine color for the rest of the blanket, okay? The same here, guys. See, we have this tan and turquoise. The same here, because we don't need any of these colors. We are cutting and we are connecting yarn by a simple knot, then another knot, and then you can do it burning method too if you want. I prefer knots to a burn method. See, you don't see it much. It's on the back, or actually you can even hide it in the middle. Here you go. And the end of the blanket, it's burned. I burn it on the end to prevent unraveling like that. And then you're hiding it underneath this beautiful chain that we have on the bottom. And then we will do the same on the top of the blanket. So here we are. You just hide it, or you can sew it to make it not movable, really, just really like that. So here we are, guys. So I will need a few more rows of aquamarine, then I'll come back and I will finish it up. Okay, guys, so we are done with our aquamarine. We're ready to finish or cast off. For casting off, I'm taking 2 stitches together and then pulling this working yarn through these 2 stitches like that. And then 1 stitch is staying on your hand or your fingers. You add in 2nd stitch and you are knitting 2 together. So then add another, and then keep doing it until you are done with all your stitches. So then next I will show you how I add the starfish to this blanket, and I will show you how to make and to attach a turtle in my part 2 of the video, and that video will need to be purchased. And the only reason I'm doing it for purchase, because I don't want people to copy my video and present it as their own, which people are doing on a daily basis. So here we are, we finished our blanket. It's a small blanket. It's actually pretty long because I was trying to show you this color change between, okay? And now let me show you how I would add a starfish, okay? This is very easy. It's much easier than to make a turtle. I'm just taking the coral color that is perfect for the starfish, and the surface knitting is always coming from underneath, okay? So here we are. I'm making like a little loop with the yarn, and this loop is coming from underneath like that, okay? Then what I'm doing, I am making one, let's cut the yarn that I could go through. Then I'm making the first side, the first starfish leg, or whatever it is, like that. See? And then I am making the second one like this. Then I'm going in the same opening in the middle. I'm making the third one. Then the same opening in the middle. The fourth, and there will be fifth over here. You can make it with 2 strings of yarn, and I am making it with 1 because it looks more like a starfish this way. If you make it with, see, like that. If you make it with 2, let me show you, it will look more like a flower, okay? And that's what we are trying to avoid. So here, I will show you why I am not making 2. You can make 2 if you like it. See, there are 2. But to me, it looks more like a flower this way. So when it's just 1 string, that looks like a starfish. So here we are. We have 1 starfish here. You can make a few here. And then we will make, as I said, a turtle in part 2. So go to part 2. The video link to part 2 is underneath this video. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce you my second book. The second book, Hand Knitting 102, it was published on November 25, 2025, and it's available to purchase on our website BeCozi.net, BeCozi.com. It's also available on Amazon. It's also available on Amazon as a downloadable version if you want, a Kindle, and if you want the real book, it's available again on our website and on Amazon. In this book, I'm showing new patterns and a few old one patterns. It's as usual, it's very detailed, it's very easy to understand what I'm doing. Very unique patterns where you can, those that you cannot find anywhere else. And again, this book is available. Go get it. And this is the best gift for yourself or your loved one.